Welcome back to another training vlog. So if you guys are joining us again, thank you for stopping by and checking us out. If this is your first time checking out the channel, we appreciate you stopping in and seeing what we have to offer, which sadly it's not much, but it's something. So this is actually week 4 of week 12. This is my second 12-week program in pursuit of getting my abs visible to be able to see them. And this night is our first chest and back night of the week. Just to give everyone a rundown, is we do everything twice a week, and we train 16 sets per body part per night, doing 4 sets of everything, 8 to 12 reps. If we could get more than 12 reps, we'll push past those 12 reps. We'll use sometimes cheat reps, drop sets, rest pause, whatever we can do to push a little bit past failure, we will. Not on everything, but on some things. We don't focus a whole lot on our form. What we do, don't get me wrong, but sometimes we let our form kind of get a little sloppy in the pursuit of getting a couple extra reps or a couple extra, however you want to say it, but time on the bar, time under tension or whatever. So, and then this night right here, I was feeling really good actually. I went in there with the pure intent of putting some size on, and I was going to train as hard as I could, and I think I accomplished that.
Yeah, you're in there trying to get bigger. I'm in there trying to get a little bit smaller. Trying to drop some weight and everything. So I think in the end, our goal is still the same. Get in there, hit it with as much intensity as we can, keep everything moving really well. Just control the weight as best we can when we're holding and squeezing. But again, like you were saying, once we start to lose it a little bit, you throw a little body English in there and get some extra reps, some extra time under tension, and keep that intensity up. And I think it definitely is working for both of us. You're moving towards your goal. I'm moving towards mine. And feeling good.
Yeah, but the end goal, we are kind of moving towards the same goal. Ultimately, my goal is to step on stage to compete in bodybuilding, and your goal is to step on the photo shoot and be an underwear model. So, kind of the same thing. We're both going to be posing in little ta-dun-ta-duns, right? It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, throw me in a little banana hammock.
Yeah, plus size model to, 1X model. Yeah. And as long as you don't go triple X, you'll be all right. So, I really like this movement right here. At first, I actually hated this machine when I bought it. I absolutely hated it because I tried doing both arms at the same time. And then I realized that if I just grab that center bar and brace myself with that, and then I pull my elbow in tight to my side and downwards, I know it doesn't look like it, but I'm actually forcing my elbow down. I engage that lat so hard, man. I get such a hard contraction. It actually mimics the dumbbell row 100% whenever you perform it like that. And then once I figured out my pendulum or my range of motion and my swing and my hand grip on there, I actually fell in love with this machine. It's so simple, but man, it hits it so well. And this to dumbbell rows, I'll pick this over dumbbell rows all day because I don't have to brace my abs and my stomach and my low back and worry about my hamstrings. I can literally just focus on the lat.
I agree. It was definitely something that took some getting used to when we first got the machine, but over time, figuring out how to use it better and utilize it for our specific needs, it has definitely become a really good machine for us to have. Because like you were saying, you keep your arm tucked and everything, and I really do feel it engage and pull just where I want it to. And like I said, it works out great for us now. We had some other ideas at the time of what we were looking for, but again, this one was a deal, and definitely is getting some great use.
Yeah, speaking of it being a deal, it actually really was, because that piece of equipment, I think it was priced around $3,200 brand new, and we got it for $700. So kind of hard to pass it up and everything. So and then on these dumbbell presses right here on this night, I was hoping to get 12, but I knew I wasn't going to hit it because I actually do sets of 12. But on this particular night, I decided last week I did 60s for 10 reps, and then I was going to go for 60s for 12 reps. But then in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, my pec being the weight it is, I don't know if I'm quite ready to shoot up to 65 pounds the following week if I hit 12 reps. So the intent this night was just to kind of get a lot of volume in there. So I actually increased the volume on every set to 15 reps, warming up to the 60s. So when I got to the 60s, I knew I'd be too fatigued to hit it for 12, and I thought I'd fell around 10, but I actually felt at 8, which was great anyways, because I got a really, really great pump in my chest, and it felt good. And I don't know, I'm just trying to protect the pec. I still want to overload it. I still want to get a lot of working on it, but I just have to make sure that I protect it and I don't rip it again, because having a jacked up ugly pec from surgery is one thing, but not having the use of my pec is a totally another story, and I don't want to go back down that road, you know.
Yeah, it always is going to be something, I'm sure, that's going to be in the back of your mind constantly when training your chest and things like that. But it's you've definitely made improvements on it from when you first started out and you were just static holding the weight while moving the other arm. But now, like I said, you've progressed all the way up to where you're pushing 60 pounds for reps. And pretty soon, I'm sure you'll be moving up past that. And yeah, there's no telling when there's a good possibility you might actually feel the need or urge to get under a regular bench press again and give that a go at some point.
Yeah, well, I tried, before the beginning of my other 12-week program, I was actually starting off with the bar, and then I went to the Swiss multi-grip bar to see if I could put a different plane of motion or hand grip or elbow movement where it didn't put strain on that tendon and that pec. And honestly, at the end of the day, man, I don't even think it's a matter of not being able to. I just think it's in my mind, because whenever I ripped it when I was competing in powerlifting on the bench, it's always in my mind, man. You call it PTS if you want, but like I said, every single time I'm under a barbell, it just starts stressing me out really bad about the thing tearing again, because like I said, I don't know why, but it just freaks me out. It's just a mental block now, and just freaks me out tearing it, because it's not the pain that I went through that holds me back. It's the downtime. It's the recovery time. It's not being able to move my arm for 4 weeks after surgery, then having to rehab it and all the other crap that goes along with tearing it off the tendon like that. And that's the biggest hindrance for me of why, it's just not worth the risk anymore. I'm not going for strength anymore. I'm going for beauty, powerlifting, a bunch of drama queens, beauty pageant. So like I said, I'd rather be aesthetically appealing and have moderate strength than be extremely strong and risk injury, because I beat my body up so bad over the course of 10 years of powerlifting that I got joint problems here and there. Not bad, but there's some things that ache and some things that are a little stiff, or some things that I have to work on my mobility more than I wish I had to. But I just don't really want to go down that path again. And honestly, staying away from that movement actually keeps my mindset off of powerlifting, because I'll start itching real bad to go right back to it, to want to compete, because I love competing at powerlifting, man. It's just an adrenaline rush.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, we've known each other for a real long time, and you spend a lot of time increasing your weights and just banging them out. But this week, though, with the dumbbell flies, last week, I was telling you, I don't really feel comfortable with the movement. I always feel like I'm kind of doing it wrong, but I feel a little bit better about how they turned out this week. I feel I controlled it and maintained the tension more how I wanted to, and I kept the feeling in the area that I was looking for. So I'm definitely happy with that. Hopefully I can continue to keep that going in the coming weeks as well.
Well, how I look at it with the flies, man, it's really, I'm just looking for a stretch, right? I get a squeeze at the top. Don't get me wrong. I do feel a squeeze at the top of the pec. But really, ultimately, what I'm looking for when I do these is just a stretch, a pain-free range of motion with a deep stretch that allows me to feel those muscle fibers just pulling and just stretching real good. And then once I hold that for a second or two at the bottom, that's when I come up and contract. By no means do I care about how much weight I'm doing on these. It's just about a stretch. And if you get a good deep stretch on these, man, ultimately, to me, you're doing them right, as long as your form's not so crazy wonky and your shoulders clicking and you're getting a stabbing pain shooting down your arm, I think you're doing them pretty good. It's a feel move, and it's if you ask 100 different guys, how do you do it? They'll give you 100 different answers. And ultimately, to me, it's a plane of motion that doesn't hurt, that gets a good deep stretch in the area that you're trying to fill it in. And if you can accomplish that, you're doing them correctly.
I have gotten better at getting that feel down and everything. So I'm enjoying where I'm at right now with them. And like I said, I was hoping that for the following weeks, I can continue to keep that good feel with it and not have so much, worry or concern that I'm doing it not as correct as I should be or so. But then we also got the crunches here, and
Yeah,
these kill me.
Yeah, these are brutal.
I end up doing like the half crunches at the end to kind of make up some of the extra, which I think helps out a little bit because I got a few more this week than I did last week.
Yeah, I always say quarter reps equal up to 4 quarter reps is equivalent to 1 full rep. You know, as long as you're not using that for your whole entire set, you're good to go. If you throw some quarter reps at the end, it's not going to hurt nothing. It's just going to help push you past a little bit further than what your body was wanting to go. And yeah, they're brutal, man. It's definitely a mass builder for the abs. Like you could use like the machine or the rope crunches or just do regular crunches or sit-ups. But to me, hanging leg raises and decline crunches are mass builders for the abs. Like I think puts size on the abdomen. A lot of people don't desire that look and they want to keep their waistline small. So they fear doing movements that's going to build the abs up. But they're just like any other muscle. If you don't build them up, when you get lean enough to see them, they're not going to even be worth seeing, to be honest, you know?
Yeah. Like in this movement, I always feel like I'm barely coming up off the seat. Because it's about to happen, right?
Yeah. Looking like a potato, man. So it's going down, though.
It's so difficult to do.
Yeah, that stomach's going down, though, man. Every week it's coming down. Yeah, that's the worst part. That is the absolute worst part, is getting off the machine right there. That's the absolute worst. So, but I think that's going to be it for me on this one. So.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
Yep. So, all right, guys. Well, remember, stay positive, keep a positive mindset, block out all the negativity. If there's any negative people in your life, just ignore them. If you can, remove them, and do your best to stay focused on your goals and don't let anyone get in the way of you and accomplish that. And at the end of the day, remember, if there is no agony, there will be no bragging. And that's it for us today.
Yep. Later.